right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the first of two combat jiu-jitsu matchups of the evening. The first matchup is a lightweight contest between two competitors who have been plying their trade in the local MMA scene for many, many years. In the yellow corner from KwaZulu-Natal, representing Lion's Den, please welcome Andrew Mbobesi Caruth. His opponent represents Cronje BJJ. From the blue corner, please welcome Devon, Cronje. Your referee, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Karajanides.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the tale of the tape is here. We've got Andrew Caruth versus Devon Cronje in a lightweight combat jiu-jitsu matchup. Both of these guys have been around in the MMA scene a long time. Andrew Caruth has represented South Africa in the IMF tournaments multiple times. He's getting ready to make his debut. Devon Cronje fought in the EFC multiple times, was knocking on the door of a title contention. It's going to be all-out action here. Combat jiu-jitsu, massive matchup. Let's throw it up to Bobby Karajanides. Prepare yourself, Steph.
I cannot wait for this one. Combat Jiu-Jitsu, excited to see the gents throw hands. Obviously that can only happen once the match gets to the ground.
Yeah, so we can't see any sort of strikes until this match gets to the ground. So the second it's on the ground, it's combat time. And both of these guys, like I said, Andrew Caruth getting ready for his debut, I think in April with the EFC, and this is not where you want to be. You give up top position. Now Andrew Caruth working a butterfly.
Oh, straight to the slaps, not shy. Andrew Caruth really starting off the slapping.
Yeah. The thing with the slaps is, like with any kind of strike, you have to get posture and you have to get the right position to land with enough power. Otherwise, you kind of just like trying to get something around the ears to disorientate your opponent.
For sure, a little bit of a distraction.
It definitely changes things. Oh, a little one on the bum there from cheeky one from Dev Cronje. You know, and the thing with combat jiu-jitsu is it changes things because you've got to protect things and it opens things up and it forces you to think about things. You know, the half guard, being at the bottom of a half guard and generally is fine, but the minute there's a bit of action, a couple of hands coming, it becomes a bit problematic.
For sure, definitely not ideal to be in bottom position when strikes are introduced.
Sure.
Devon definitely would be happier in the position that he's in right now.
And like we kind of paint Devon as this with the wrestling credential, you know, so he'll be like to be heavy on top. He's doing a lot of like cheeky little slaps to the back there, which is very interesting, you know, trying to give Andrew Caruth something to think about. Andrew's got to start to find a way to get out of here. I'm not seeing much from Andrew's corner right now. I'd like to see a bit of instruction for him to get out of that position.
And I know.
Oh, and he's jumped. He's good, strong crossface from Devon Cronje now.
And that's it, Al. I know Devon wants to come out here, put on a show. This is more in his element and his wheelhouse.
100%.
Wants to make it nasty. But he has to get over that half guard position.
Yeah, that's an awesome point, Steph. This is definitely more in Dev Cronje's wheelhouse. The same as Dallas we're going to see later, and Francois Kundari. Obviously, I mean, these guys are great grapplers, but they do have combat sports experience, you know, so it comes a little bit more naturally to us mere jiu-jitsu mortals.
Exactly. We don't like getting slapped in the face.
They're poshing up quite hard, a cheeky one from the bottom from Andrew Caruth, very nice. You know, you've got to throw something up, let your opponent think And now you can see Devon's using strikes to distract from the setup for the leg there. Very smart from Devon.
Oh, a hard body
Hard
shot
one to
there.
to the back.
Devon trying to hit, and Andrew giving it right back.
But I think Andrew's kind of like, he had a moment there to kind of get rid of that half guard and stayed in it.
Oh,
very
big
hard strikes
slaps.
from Devon Cronje. And you can see that one definitely had a lot of impact.
Yeah, definitely hurt. Oh, cut open
Bit of
as
blood
well.
there. Hard one from
hands.
Devon Cronje.
And if you're Andrew, I think you want to get out of that bottom position, right?
Yeah. It's got to be prioritized now. He's really got to find a way to get out of that bottom half.
Potentially searching for an underhook.
Yeah, definitely going to try and find an underhook to get out.
But Devon's being so good at staying heavy.
And he's making it nasty, nasty, nasty. And he's relentless on that same body spot. He's continuing to that body.
Going for the vital organs.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrew creating a bit of space.
Yeah, so you see,
shield.
that's the thing. As he's making space, Devon is posturing up into good position to land like a strike that's really going to have an effect, So he's got to kind of make those decisions a little bit smarter on how he creates that space and where he finds the opportunities to get up. Sitting here at the bottom it's just not working for him. He's got to find a different way. I'd like to see him now that Dev's got a good head position there, but on the left side, get an underhook and try find a way out there. Try get up, wrestle up onto a single leg, reverse that position, and start to give some back.
Well, this is it now. Dev's hooking onto the leg, and every time he hooks onto the leg, he's sitting up and throwing strikes. He's just given Andrew a lot to work with.
Yeah, and now Andrew really getting some off in that position. Both trying to make each other think. Dev back onto that same little body shot there. I think Andrew's going to have a bit of redness on that, what do we call it, the left sort of kidney area tomorrow.
He's got a bit of a knee shield going on in there. I'd like to see him try and create a little bit more space.
He's got to go all the way out or all the way in. If he's kind of in the middle territory, that's where he's really going to start to have problems. He's giving Devon that opportunity for posture.
I mean, if I were him at this stage, I'd want to just be all the way out.
Yeah. The funny thing is that seemingly both of these is the opposite from what we normally have. Both of these guys have forgotten that they can submit each other at the same time. Normally it's the other way around,
Usually it's the jiu-jitsu
So
guys.
Dev now working on a mounted guillotine as we're saying that, but it's like they've become so stressed about the combat they've forgotten about the submissions. So I'd like to see some submission attempts from both parties. Yeah.
For sure. Andrew at the bottom could maybe start working some guard
and
submissions.
his guard's getting a little bit higher. He's starting to think about it now. Back to the body again.
I guess it must be tough when you're getting slapped in the face, though, Al. Like, the crowd's definitely enjoying. The crowd's definitely enjoying the slaps.
Yeah.
This is what we
and
came
again,
for.
Andrew's trying to find a way out here, it looks like. Oh, okay. It's close. Onto the hips, back to the closed guard. And that's where you don't want to be with someone like Devon, is just letting him sit in your guard like this, because he's going to find a little bit of posture and he's going to start to cause problems.
And that's again with the MMA background, right? That's what they work
he's
on.
bringing up that leg up, he's going to start to look for some posture here now.
Dev's corner telling him to start to move, needs to find something.
Yeah, and to Andrew Caruth, obviously, like, he's got foots on the hips, he's trying to make a bit of space, but I think the mistake he was making is
Dev is loving this slapping, maybe a little bit too much.
The way he's trying to create space, he's leaving Dev in the perfect kind of spot to posture up and inflict damage,
For sure.
Instead of going all the way out or keeping him all the way in. And I think that's been the one mistake he's made in both the half guard and the closed guard now. Again, guard's getting a bit higher, but he's only got 30 seconds left here. Combat overtime is going to be super interesting.
What is combat overtime?
Well, we will still see an overtime round, but we've allowed the strikes to continue in the overtime round. I know in the combat world it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
They don't allow strikes in the overtime. It goes to EBR overtime, but for me it just doesn't make sense.
It's combat
still combat,
jiu-jitsu.
so
It's combat
why would you
jiu-jitsu.
drop the combat? Yeah. So we'll have 2 minutes each, but with combat still allowed. Devon trying to pour it on here now.
I'm kind of excited to see what that looks
Yeah,
like.
me too. A little cheeky smile there from Devon as he stood up.
Oh, Andrew's face not in the best shape.
Yeah, he definitely. There was one in there that was really, really harsh, and that's the one that caused the problems for Andrew Caruth. But we go back to 0.
So here's the thing: even though strikes are allowed, surely you'd opt for control
Yeah,
and the
because
submission.
the thing is on a seatbelt position here where Devon is, you give up a hand to strike and you give up that seatbelt for an escape. So that's the conundrum of the combat overtime, you know. So it is available if you do find the opportunity, but it's every strike will come with an opportunity for your opponent to escape. And Devon's heavy on the net here. That's going to be over
quick
very quickly.
Oh, beautiful!
7 seconds.
Quick submission by Devon.
Okay, so
Andrew's going to
all
have
odds
to.
against Andrew Caruth here. He's got to get a 6-second submission to win here.
Straight for the neck.
Yeah, has to be straight for the neck.
Oh,
And great bit of effort here. As you can see, Andrew Caruth hunting for that neck immediately.
well
Well
done.
done, boys.
Well done by both gents.
Great matchup. Andrew Caruth's going to need a bit of ice.